Hey guys, it's Leah. Welcome to our first Facebook ads training. This is going to be part one of a few of these, and there's quite a bit involved when it comes to the whole purpose of Facebook ads, Facebook targeting, how we're reaching those fans that are already looking for us, and the reason behind doing a lot of certain things. So we need to just talk a little bit about the whole purpose of Facebook ads, what we're going to be doing with it, and why we do it the way we do. So I'm just on my page right now, and I wanted to show you a couple of things. But first of all, I want to just talk about what our pages are supposed to be about. I'm going to be passing on absolutely everything that I'm learning because I'm always trying to get an edge, and you got to stay on our toes because social media changes so fast and things are changing all the time. So I'm going to always be passing on the information to you that I'm learning as I learn it. So this is stuff that I'm also experimenting with all the time. But one thing I have learned, and this is so important, is that our Facebook pages are not billboards for buy my music, buy my music, buy my music. That is not the purpose of them. And what the purpose of our Facebook page is it is supposed to be a hub, basically a community of like-minded people that gather for common purposes, okay? Why do people go on Facebook at all? The reason people go on Facebook isn't because they want to be bombarded by buy my stuff, buy my stuff. They go on Facebook for the purpose of being entertained. They go on Facebook to feel good. They want to find something funny. They want to feel inspired or motivated. They are there for community. They're there to hang out with their friends. They're there to, come across good music, engage with people that they like. They're there for a sense of community. They're not there to look at advertisements. So the purpose of our page is not to advertise to people. And I'm going to give you a few little formulas that I've learned that have been proven to work. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the content we're going to put on our Facebook page. You have to have a Facebook like page. If you don't yet, you need to start setting that up immediately. Make sure you set it up that you are a musician or a band or a public profile, something like that. Do not set it up as a community page or anything. The ads won't work the same way. So there are certain kinds of content that you need to be posting every single day. We'll talk more about how we're going to do that because this might sound a little overwhelming to do, but this is actually going to get you super, super engagement. And the reason we want engagement is because it's basically in the marketing world, they call it expose, involve, and upgrade. First, they see your stuff. You know, they've seen it a bunch of times. They see your face. They see your community. They see people interacting with you. And then the involvement part of it would be them interacting with your page, them liking it, them sharing it, them commenting, coming to your page rather than just seeing it in their news feed. And then the upgrade part would be where they actually decide, you know, I've seen this music a whole bunch of times, and I am ready to buy it now. So the whole process is called expose, involve, and upgrade. It doesn't matter what market you are in or what kind of business it is. The music business, it works exactly the same. So just keep that in mind. And so, for example, I just want to show you something I posted it says 8 hours ago I posted this. This is crazy. So here's something that has nothing to do with my music. Okay, I'm not selling my music at all. It was just in fact, I barely even read this article, but I thought my fans might like this. And it says, study finds that metal music can be a good medicine for coping with anxiety. And you'll see it got 828 likes, actually a few more than that, 388 shares. That's nuts. And about 76 comments. Crazy, right? And that had nothing to do with selling my music at all. But I posted something that obviously resonated with people on my page. There's a lot of people that are suffering with anxiety. And I didn't overthink this. This wasn't like a super duper strategic thing that I did. I just saw it in my feed earlier on my personal page and thought, oh, I think my fans would like that. I shared it on my page. And what I did was, normally when you share, if I were to go share this and I were to go share, what you'll see is the person's name where you saw, where you got the article or the picture or whatever it is. What I did was I just clicked remove. So now it's coming from my page rather than the person I saw it from. And then you have to make sure that you click here where you go down to on a page you manage. So if you're on your personal feed and you see something your fans would like, you need to come down here and select your page, okay? Select your page. Then you need to say just a little something. Don't write a huge paragraph for this. So I just wrote, as you can see, I have to agree. What do you think? And so because of that, that's all I did. So the article speaks for itself. Then this is the kind of engagement it's getting because it resonated with my audience. And this is really what my page is about. You'll also notice I have all kinds of photos posted. Let's check them out for a second, okay? Stuff that has nothing to do with my music. You'll get a sense here. So I've got pictures, a few selfies. There's the chaotic eyeball that I got for my birthday. It's just a little microphone isolator. All kinds of castles and stuff, some memes, what I was listening to that day from Instagram, all kinds of I post stuff about swords and, here's a funky chair. I was like, what the heck is that? Stuff that is not to do with there's a picture of my son reading Beowulf. Just all kinds of things. They don't have to do with my music, but it represents stuff that I like, and it connects to my music in a way, because my niche is it's symphonic metal, but I'm into the Lord of the Rings stuff. I like the medieval Celtic historical side of things. And so I like pretty things, and these photos inspire me. When I look at it, go, oh, I like that picture. It just brightens my day a little bit, makes me feel a little more peaceful when I look at photos like this. So I post them because I want to, and my audience often loves it. Also, look at this picture. This picture of this castle in Scotland, it got 1,200 likes and 118 shares. Okay, so this is not rocket science. This is just posting things that I think my community, my tribe on my page would like, that I like. And sometimes it doesn't have to do with music at all, or even just this stuff. It could be something totally random. If you're into Star Wars or something and you think your fans are also into Star Wars, I mean, this is kind of representing your music, but it represents your personality too. So you want your fans to be able to connect with your personality. So that's what a lot of this is about. And so there is a little bit of a formula that you can use to get maximum exposure and maximum engagement on your page. Okay, so here is basically the formula. When I'm in a season where I'm focusing on social media right now, this is what it should look like. You need 2 to 3 pictures a day. Don't get overwhelmed by this. I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna do this, okay? 2 to 3 pictures a day. It could be a picture of you, like a selfie. It could be of other musicians or other bands or concerts. It could be of CD cover art that you like, other bands you support, or it could even be like a quote graphic of something that inspired you that day. And there's lots of places you could find this. Basically, you're going to accumulate a whole bunch of pictures, and we're actually going to schedule your posts ahead of time. This is how we're going to do it. Then also 1 to 2 times a day, some kind of an inspirational post. Now for me, it could be text. Okay. You could just type something like, I'm having a great day. I hope you're all having a great day. I don't know, something that you need to be yourself, but something that, will hopefully inspire other people. Now for me, I tie in the photos that I post in with my inspirational posts, because to me, pictures of the beautiful landscapes and the castles, and this to me is inspiring. This inspires me. This makes me feel good when I look at it. So I kind of tie it in that way. But also another thing is you need to add once in a while, every day if possible at some point, 1 to 2 maybe strategic questions that you're just throwing out there. Okay, it could be a random question like, what's your favorite color? What are you doing tonight? It's Friday. What's your favorite beer or whatever? Or something a little more strategic, also more open-ended, like, what do you think of this? So some of these you can see tie into that. I put here, I have to agree, what do you think? So it's an open-ended question. So I tie it in. The next thing I'm going to also have you do, which is you need 2 posts a day, 1 to 2 posts a day of a great resource, or an article, a blog, things of interest to you. So here I tied in a question, an open-ended question with a resource, an article. So you can really do that. So in total, you're basically posting anywhere between 5 to 8 times a day. Now that you might be like, oh my gosh, I don't even post like once a week. And basically this is the key though. This is what we're going to have to do in this new music industry, in this new music era, in order to really connect with our fans so that we can make those CD sales. This is where we are separating ourselves from everybody else. Now, how we're going to do that is you can literally schedule your content ahead of time before it goes out. And you can schedule up to like months in advance. So if you actually go up here on publishing tools, you'll see scheduled posts. So you have no scheduled posts. I'm on my husband's account right now because it's a lot less cluttery than mine. And you'll go create a post. And I'm going to either post a status or do a photo or video. Let's say I'm going to do a photo. And I'm going to tell you where I find all my photos. So first thing is, here's my little secret. I go to Pinterest. I will pick out a photo that I think is gorgeous. Okay, I love this. This is like some kind of fantasy looking thing. And I'll look through and I'll find something that I think, oh, I love that, and I think my fans would like it too. There's some boards that I follow. This looks awesome. So all I do is see if I can also find like information about it. Sometimes people they'll ask me, they're like, where's that? And I'm like, I don't know. So usually if there's information, I'll actually copy and paste the information from where it is. Like, that looks awesome. Northern Lights in Scotland. Perfect. Okay, so I will literally save the image. Sometimes I actually do this on my phone too, and it's easy. I'll just save the image to my phone and upload it directly to Facebook that way. But I will save image as, and we'll save it to my desktop. You can also make a Dropbox folder for this where you just keep them all, but I just usually delete them afterwards. So, and I'll copy this, Northern Lights at Pentland Hills, Edinburgh, Scotland. And I'm just going to copy that information. Then, when you start going, this gets really fast and it doesn't take very long at all. So now I'm going to get my photo and I literally just upload it, and I'm going to paste, and sometimes I will just add something, a little personal touch to it, like, I might add a couple of hearts because that's how I feel about it. And then beside the publish button is a little arrow, and you're going to go schedule. Now I might schedule this for tomorrow morning, Friday, and usually in the morning is really good. So I might do it like 7 a.m. to go out. I might still be in bed, but it'll go out and start working for me. So that's now scheduled for tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So that's how you schedule posts on here. And you could really just spend one afternoon compiling all your scheduled posts. There are other platforms that are also good, that are more paid platforms though. So one I've been experimenting with a bit is called meetedgar.com. And there's another one called Sprout Social. And you can check those out if you're interested in more bells and whistles. But this gets the job done, and it's free. And you can also have this connected to your Twitter account so that everything you post ahead of time also goes to Twitter. Quickly show you how to do that if you're not a big Twitter user. I'm not a big Twitter user. So that's why I just have it go there, because I really don't want to have to post anything twice. So you go to your profile, go to settings, go to, where are we? I believe it's in apps. So here is where, it's because I'm signed in as my husband that it's being weird. But this, in applications, you will have an option to connect your Facebook account with Twitter. So every time you post on Twitter, or see here I have Meet Edgar, every time you post on Twitter, it'll go, or sorry, on Facebook, it'll get sent to Twitter. So you don't have to do it twice, and you still get good engagement. Now, within that frame that I gave you, 2 pictures a day, 1 or 2 inspirational posts, maybe they tie into those pictures, 1 or 2 strategic questions a day, a couple good resources. You also, if you really need to boost your engagement, something you really want to add is 1 viral video a day. So it could be your own video, but any video will do, but a viral video will really boost your engagement. If you could do 1 viral video every single day, your engagement will go through the roof. Just because here's what's going on. Some of you might already know this, but Facebook is really trying to dominate YouTube right now. And so what happened was there's basically video wars going on, and Facebook wants video. They changed all the algorithms recently. It's changed, and people who were getting really amazing engagement, who were doing all the right things already, all of a sudden they were not, went kaput and nothing. They weren't getting good results anymore. And the reason is because they changed it so that now, and I'm guaranteed, if you're on your mobile phone and you start scrolling, half of the posts in there are going to be video. They want to show video. And so basically, what we just need to do is use it to our advantage, take that knowledge and start doing what they want so that we will get better engagement. Because here's what's happening. Every time you post a photo, a video, a viral video, anything like that, and someone clicks like and someone clicks share, now, because that person engaged with that post, they're going to put everything that you've done in their newsfeed now. So here's a good takeaway, all right? People don't normally go to your page. What they do is they scroll in their newsfeed. The question is, are you in their newsfeed? If you're not in their newsfeed, they're not going to be engaging with you. So you need to be doing stuff on your page that gets a lot of engagement so that you end up more and more and more in their newsfeed. And so because of that, you need to include video. And so where do you find that video? There's lots and lots of viral video sites. You can go to BuzzFeed Video, BuzzFeed Food. Almost doesn't even matter what it is. Almost doesn't even matter. Anything funny, anything at all that will intrigue your audience. Pick it. Pick stuff that you think will appeal to your audience. So try to keep a connection if you can. I might post animal videos or something like that, something funny or something cute or something beautiful. If I post something beautiful, I think that would really connect more with my audience. My audience likes pretty things. They like beautiful things. They like historical things. Sometimes I'm posting stuff about archaeology or something that was dug up, interesting things. So, but that's my audience. Your audience is not my audience. And so, something to keep in mind, okay? So you want to get people engaged so that you end up in their news feed. And remember, you want it to be stuff that's going to catch their eye, get their attention. And so about 90% of the time, we are not promoting our music on our page. That is probably new to you, and it was new to me as well. We are not promoting our music all over our page every single day. Buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. That's not what we're doing, and that's not the purpose of your page. Remember, the purpose of your page is for community. You're building a very targeted little tribe of people that are going to engage with every little single thing you say and do. And so in order to do that, 90% of the time, you're not promoting your stuff, which means if you were posting 10 times a day, you could totally do that. Lots and lots of people do that. So basically every other hour. One of those posts, you'd be selling something. One of those posts, you'd be promoting your music. That might sound counterintuitive to you, but trust me, this works. And the reason is because we only want to get really, really engaged people on our page. And then when it comes time to sell something, to sell our music, those people are already, it's going to be a complete no-brainer for those people. They're already so engaged. We've already gone through the process of expose, involve, and now they're going to upgrade. They're going to buy our product. That's how it works. So it's no different in music compared to every other market. So really, really important stuff. I hope you're taking notes on this because I'm going through a lot of information, I know. But it's all very valuable and it's all very relevant right now. Now, before we even get into Facebook ads for building our email list and for finding super fans, we're going to find super fans, but we are first going to set up a Facebook like page ad. People who are going to like our page. This is strategically done for a reason, okay? We are not creating a like page ad for the sake of adding numbers. We don't care about numbers. If you remember in the first class you ever heard me teach, it's not about numbers, it's about targeted superfans. We only want superfans to like our page. You can make a lot of money from a very few amount of people that are radically addicted. They're totally hooked on your music. And so we need those same kind of people to like our page and be engaged with our page every single day. There are certain people who will literally like everything I post within like a few seconds that I post it. And it's the same people every time. Those are the people we're after. Now, I'm going to show you how we're going to create a Facebook like ad, a like page ad. And I'm going to just tell you right up front, do not attempt to do this at all unless you've already gone through the exercises to define your micro niche. That is critical information that we need for this in order to even do this at all. It will not work and you'll waste a lot of money if you haven't already done that exercise. You need that information and you need the list right in front of you actually. And we're going to even brainstorm a little bit further as we do this. So what we're going to do right now is create a like ad, and this is going to be an ad that we keep going all the time. This is going to be running all the time. We might tweak it, take a look at it once a month or something, check it out, see how it's doing, but generally it's going to be a little drip going on for however long we want. Like I never turn mine off. So you're going to quickly click on your ads manager. You're going to create an ad. Normally, I don't even do it this way, and I will go into the Power Editor, but that can be pretty overwhelming if you've never really played around in there yet. I'm going to show you how to do that for some other things that you have to use the Power Editor for, but for the sake of this like page ad, we can do it this way. This is a little more simplistic looking, and it works fine for this. So we're going to promote your page. And then you obviously need to click on your page and you're going to name your campaign. This is just for internal use. This is just for you. And I'll just rename it something I'll remember. Now, locations, there are a couple of different ways you can attack this. If you've done the research like I've showed you in your worksheets, you'll know a lot about your audience right now. You should know where your audience is located just because of defining your genre. Through doing research, you can find out where a lot of popular bands in your genre are in the world. A lot of times they're congregated in one area of the world more than others. Some other genres might be more spread out. Now for me, I have a real mix. There's a lot of South American fans that I have, but those fans don't tend to buy a lot through Facebook platform. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. The countries that tend to buy music or buy products at all on Facebook are generally in Canada, United States, Australia, and United Kingdom. So the four biggest countries that actually spend money on the Facebook platform is Canada, United States, United Kingdom, and Australia. Now, I'm going to add a few more countries on here because I know for a fact that my music is popular there. So I'm going to add quite a bit of Europe in this just because I'm not just looking for buyers yet, I'm looking for potential super fans. And so I'm going to include the countries that I know for a fact from doing research. I know where they are. So I know that I have fans in Ireland. I know I have fans in Germany because I did the research. I have fans in France, Spain, Italy, basically Finland, Sweden, Norway. Let's scroll down a bit. And I'm going to look in here a little bit more to just see if there's any big countries that I've missed that I know buy my music. Oh, Netherlands, of course. So my particular style of music is very popular in these places. Belgium is huge as well. It's nice that they just included this map. This is a new feature that they've added. Now, there's lots of other countries that do like my music that is popular, but I'm just going to keep it here for now. And I might sometimes run a separate ad to a different part of the world. So if I wanted to target more Asian countries, so, if you can ever get into like the Japanese market, that is an amazing market for music over there. It's a little bit hard to like break into it, but if you do, it's a fantastic market to be in. But I would run a separate ad to that part of the world just because it's so large. So because of some of these are a little bit smaller little countries and stuff, compared to like China and Japan and all that. The stats have shown that ages between about 23 and 47 are the highest converting ages. Converting meaning going from don't know you at all to opting into your offers, buying your products, engaging with you. These are the numbers, 23 and 47. I don't know why. I don't know why it works. I just know it works. I know that's generally what the experts say to do. So I follow their advice because it works. This is imperative that you know your audience right now. When we get to interests, this is how we are going to really, really, really target your ideal fans. This is really what makes or breaks everything. And this is usually the place where everybody gets it wrong. So we've already gone through a whole bunch of techniques until now, but this is really the clincher for how we're going to find those super fans to come and like our page and engage and get to know us for a little while before they buy anything. Now, if you've done the research like I showed you, you know where your fans are, you know the exact genre that you are, you know your micro niche. Now I need you to start thinking a little outside the box. So I'm going to create an ad the way I would create it, and you can watch me and try to replicate this for yourself. So we need to go beyond just demographics here. We've got to think outside the box. What does your ideal fan want? What are they into? What are the things that they like? What are their interests? Think about your own likes and interests outside of music that might relate a little bit to it. So everything from like, what kind of radio stations do they listen to? Are there any specific podcasts that they might like? What are the similar bands? I want you to write a huge list of similar bands that are up the same vein is what you are doing. Even stuff like TV shows, magazines, blogs, the websites. What does your fan like? Then we're going to look for those pages right here in the interests, and we're going to target those pages. So what you can do is, even like if you're not sure what magazines, you can do a Google search for magazines in your genre and with, or your interest, for example, and go find their Facebook page, and we're going to target it. And there's a couple other tweaks we're going to do within that. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing in things that I know my fans will like. So for example, you can see that I posted stuff about castles and Lord of the Rings kind of stuff. I like history. I like, people who like my music tend to like fantasy stuff. They like Game of Thrones. They like Lord of the Rings. And but see, if I look up Lord of the Rings, look over here for a sec. Lord of the Rings has 20 million, almost 21 million people on here. I am not going to target this page. The reason why is because that is like throwing a tiny little pebble into a giant ocean. This is too broad. Way, way, way too broad. What I need to do is find a smaller little niche page of something related to Lord of the Rings. And then I'm going to target the people of those little pages. So as you can see, there's all kinds of little things, and I'm gonna stay anywhere under 500,000 people. Okay, the smaller is sometimes even the better. So like even 100,000 people would be a little micro niche page, and that is going to give me way more bang for my buck. Lord of the Rings, this 1978 film, I might try targeting that. I'm looking at Return of the King. Trading card game. Lord of the Rings Online. That's too big. So I'm going to go for this one because it's so much smaller. Oh, now they're showing me other similar related pages that I might consider. So The Hobbit. And I don't want to make this all about Lord of the Rings. It's just one of the things that I can use that relates. Something to keep in mind here is when you're looking at stuff, so this is all related to Lord of the Rings, this Middle Earth stuff. You can see the Shire, they've got Moria, they've got, basically these are little micro pages. I don't even know what this is. I think this is a place in Lord of the Rings. Okay, I'm not like the hugest buff. I love the movies, but I don't know all the details of the books. But somebody who likes this page is a total nerd. And nerds are collectors. Think about this. Nerds collect all the little action figures. They have all the posters. They have all the books. They have all the DVDs. You want to target nerds, basically. That's what you want, nerds. People who love to collect. And that's why we're talking about little micro niches, because it's the little micro niche people that are collectors. So I might target something like random like this. It has 118,000 people. It's obviously something obscure from Lord of the Rings. I think it's a place. But it's narrow enough that I can, Lothlorien. Oh, that's awesome. Mirkwood. So these are places in Lord of the Rings. And the people who like these pages are total Lord of the Rings geeks. And Lord of the Rings geeks collect stuff. And so collectors are buyers. And that's just a fact. So I think that's about all I'm going to do for Lord of the Rings right now. But my fans might like shows like Vikings. So the History Channel. See, Vikings, History Channel. Perfect. So I've got a TV show. I've got a movie. I've got some like geek pages. Now I might consider a few other bands that are similar to mine. Now check this out. So like they might like a band like Epica, but look, they have 2.9 million likes. 2.9 million likes is too big. What I'm going to do now to find something a little bit smaller is I might try some other bands, but something I can do is, this is gold, is you are going to go to audience insights. The way you get to audience insights is through your ads manager, where you go up here to tools. You're going to go to audience insights. This is gold, okay? This is basically data mining, and it's going to teach you how to find the exact information that you need. So I'm just going to keep it to the United States, for example, or you can even just delete it and go all people, but United States for now, since I'm targeting people in the United States. And I'm going to type in that exact band that's too big. So Epica, here's the band, almost 3 million likes. Now you'll notice something. It's going to tell me the demographics of people who like that larger page. It's going to teach me, 35% women, 38% men in these age ranges. Also tells me down here what kind of people they are. And it kind of just puts them into different categories. Career building type of people, single parents, basically a bunch of stuff. I don't necessarily need those demographics, but what's really key is you can go here to page likes. People who like this band Epica with 3 million likes also like these other things. It's going to tell me people who like Epica have also liked this musician band, Nightwish, Serenia, Camelot, Within Temptation, Terra. Now, these other pages are also really large. I just know that they are. These also have millions of likes. But this is giving me major, major insight into my ideal fan. So my ideal fan would be an Epica fan, for example. This is the record label that has a lot of these bands on it. So naturally they like that record label page. It's going to tell me the community, the type of products that they buy. And down here, this is invaluable. This is going to tell you the other pages that they like, and you can look them up and check out how big or small that they are. These are the other pages that people who like that band also like these bands, or these other pages. Some of them, you're noticing wines and stuff. I don't know how that relates, but apparently they're into wines. So you'll notice these are other bands. Charlotte Wessels is a singer of another band. Her guitar player played on my album. And so I might target her page, Charlotte Wessels. Let's go back here. So Charlotte Wessels has just about 160. Perfect. People who love Delane and love her as a singer, they're totally going to like my stuff as well, because we're in the same similar type of a category as far as symphonic metal singers. And we have a bit of a connection because her guitar player also was my guitar player. So that's a great type of connection to have. This makes sense to put this singer in my interests. People who like her are very likely to like me. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to check out what else. This you need to know, this relevance score. When you have ads, it's going to give you a relevance score on basically between 1 to 10. It looks like it's a little bit different over here. But on 1 to 10, 10 being the most relevant and 1 being the least relevant. I think I'll also add Delane. So they're under 500,000, so I'm going to choose them. They're not millions and millions of likes, so I'm going to target them. I will target a few other pages, like, Enya. Enya has millions, but I'm going to find a smaller niche page. So the very best of Enya, that's one album, and people who like that album of hers, they'll probably like my stuff. People who like Game of Thrones, for example, see the card game, the book, we've got all kinds of things. Seasoned. Oh, so maybe people who like season 2 are, fanatics. That's people who might like my page. I'm going to pick a few more band pages and maybe a couple magazines, and I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to take my time. This takes some time to make this good, and it takes research to make this good, but man, will you nail it. Once you really narrow down exactly who would like your music, that's how you're going to kill this. You're going to totally kill it. You're going to crush it. You're going to get really, really, really targeted fans coming and liking your page. We don't want random people liking our page. Those people aren't going to buy our music. We want people who are obsessed with everything that has to do with what we're doing. Those are the people we want that turn into the diehard fans. So this is how we do it, okay? And it really involves knowing yourself and knowing your genre, knowing and doing the research to find out who is going to like your music. And yes, it takes a lot of work and thinking outside of the box, but that's how we're going to make a living in this day and age. Look at this. I'm picking historical fantasy. It's a book genre. People who have liked pages related to this book genre, that's perfect. That's thinking outside of the box. By the way, your potential reach here, you want to keep this potential reach under 3 million. You don't want to go too big because, again, that's like throwing a tiny little pebble into an ocean, and it's just not going to be the most bang for your buck. You'll spend a lot of money and not get a very good result. It's better to keep it small and super targeted. So this is even getting a little bit up there for me. So I'm just going to be careful. I might add a couple more things and then I'm going to leave it and then tweak as necessary. Okay, so I've got quite a few things. I've got stuff doing with like some history pages, some singers that are similar to mine, some bands that are similar to mine, some book genres that I think people who like my music probably read. So there's a German magazine that I know they read that features my genre of music. Some movies, History Channel, so I've got a little wide variety. Now, normally I might spend more time and add more little smaller pages, like even if they only have 5,000 people on them, but I know that they would like my music, I'm going to add those little pages too. The key is to think outside the box. Sometimes I'll make an Evernote and I will make a giant long running list of absolutely anything and everything I could possibly think of. Then I will go to Audience Insights and I start doing a little research on it. And then I will come back here and I'll find out how many likes do they have. Is this small enough for me to target? If not, are there any related pages that may be like sub pages of that? So as you can see, The Hobbit, I didn't choose The Hobbit film because that has like 20 million likes. I chose this, it's The Hobbit, it's the 1977 cartoon, but it has to do with the same thing. It's the same kind of people. The people who like this page probably like the big 20 million page as well. So you just involve some creativity and thinking outside of the box. Now we go down here to behaviors. Don't even touch this. This is for like more ad agencies who are doing stuff. Now when you get here, if you're really satisfied with what you've done and you don't want to forget it, you can save this audience and just name them. So just call it, I'm going to call this like, and I might say Europe, UK, US, Canada, basically, so I can kind of remember, and it's like 23 to 47, just so at a glance I kind of remember what this ad is all about. And then a budget, I like kind of trickling at about $5 a day. If you're really needing to build your page and you're needing to build quality diehard fans quickly, bump it up to $10 a day, and then you can test it for a few days. The great thing about these ads is you can pause or delete them at any point, but you can literally click pause if you're feeling freaked out, like, this is like, I'm spending so much money. Just hit pause and figure out what you want to do, and then you can unpause it and it'll start again. Now, when we get down here to images, you can also do videos too now, which is a whole nother thing. We're going to do another tutorial on what you could do for that. But for now, let's just pick some images. There's some rules about images. One being that you can't have text that's more than 20% of the entire photo. So there are some apps you can use, but just generally keep that in mind. Less than 20% of the photo. You can choose your timeline graphic that you already have, or maybe a cool graphic or a CD art cover, something like that. I recommend that you choose and maybe design it a little bit in Canva, Canva. You can always hire somebody also for $5 on Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. and just get someone to make you some Facebook graphics. Just give them your photos and tell them what you want, and usually for a really cheap price you can get a couple really good graphics. You can choose up to 6 photos, and then what's nice is after you have 6 photos, one of them is going to perform really well over the others. And then that's your winner. You can delete the other ones or turn the other ones off, and then just keep the one going that is performing the best. Let me just show you a quick example of Canva. So it's a canva.com. It's canva.com. They have all these pre-designed sizes, these custom sizes. What you can do is scroll down here and go to a Facebook ad. So you find ads down here, and it's already the custom size that you need. Now you just need to drag and drop it pretty much. But I'm going to upload a picture. In the text that I add, I'm going to be telling them what my community page is all about. I'm not going to say buy my music, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be promoting myself. I'm not going to promote my page as a page that they really want to get in on. They want to be a part of my community. They want to be part of my tribe because of the way they're going to feel when they're there. And that is they're going to be inspired, motivated, whatever, by the pictures I'm posting, by my content. So I'm going to think of this as I am typing my text. So here's something I'm just playing around with a little bit, because I know that my fans love fantasy books, they like movies, they like anything to do with Lord of the Rings, just like I do. I am just playing with these words a little bit. So fantasy plus metal, the best of both worlds. They're going to be like, what is that? I got to go check out the page. Now in Canva, you literally type add heading or subheading, whatever, and you can click here and change your fonts. Pick something that matches your brand pretty well. But you want it to be easy to read too. So even though that this might look nice, I don't know if it'll be super easy to read. And keep in mind, if some of your audience is not, from US and Canada, just keep it in mind. So this is probably a little bit too hard to read. So I'm going to change it to something a little more readable. I kind of like this one. Now keep in mind that 20% rule. So I'm going to make it smaller. Ideally, you'd have a big landscape type picture. I don't. So I'm going to just try it. I'm going to see how it works. I'm going to test this. So I have like a square photo, and then I have some text. Okay, this is what I ended up with. Celtic fantasy metal, the best of all worlds. I've actually used that as a headline for other things, other ads, and it worked really, really well. Lots of positive feedback. So now I'm just going to download this as an image for web, and I'm going to hope that that is less than 20%. Now I'm going to upload my photo. And again, you can use up to 6 pictures. You just add them all here. Keep adding more. And then test them and see which one is going to convert the best. So you'll be able to see how many likes you get per photo on which photo. And then just keep the one that's working the best. You can see here how it's cropped to actually be the size of your Facebook banner. So knowing that, this is something new that they changed. So knowing that, you can go in and create something that is actually a more like a Facebook banner. So like an event cover photo, basically, something like that. But for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it like this just for the moment. And now we're going to write our text. So they know from looking at this photo, they see me, they see some beach, they see some chainmail, they see words, Celtic fan. These are like keywords, right? You're keep in mind keywords of what your fans will be attracted to. Now, I'm not going to go official fan page. I might, but like we can do better than that. So here's something I'm playing with. And you can always come back and tweak your copy. Copy is what they call basically the text that you're using to advertise. So I'm just going stuff that I know that they actually love. Love Enya? Do you love Game of Thrones and Vikings? You'll love symphonic metal made in Leah. I have clicked on things where I'm like, yes, I do love those things. Okay, you're helping me connect with something you think that I'll like. If I like those things, I'm going to like this thing. Well, they're probably right. So that's what I'm going to use for this. And I'm going to test it. And I'm going to see how it does. And if it doesn't do as well as I think it could do, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tweak it. And I'm going to maybe change the text. I'm going to change the photo. I'm going to test out how it is. But very likely that if I'm really in touch with my audience and I'm really in touch with my genre, it's going to do really well. At this point, you just literally place your order. You can review it, but I've been thorough, so I'm going to place it. And that's it for this Facebook ads training. I hope you found it useful. I hope you took notes. And I'd love to hear your feedback and any other questions that you have. And leave that for me in the Facebook group or in the course. And I look forward to seeing how it does for you.